Hey guys, welcome back. This is Christina, your Bravo aficionado who never takes her TV off Bravo, and you are joining us for Bravo Ish Talkers.
Woo-hoo. Hey guys, welcome back. It's Ramona, the one with the PhD in Bravoology and a lover of all things pop culture.
And I am Tiana, lover of all things Black Bravo.
I'm Courtney, a realtor by day and Bravo private investigator by night.
This week we have the Bravo Roundup, where we're going to just kind of get into all of the ish of the week, everything that's been happening in the Bravoverse, go down and run down all the shows, and kind of talk about all the drama that's been coming out of Bravo. But first, ladies, how's the week been going?
Man, the week, there's been lots of good Bravo fun going on, but I would like to start with something that nobody is talking about. Tiana, what is this? No one will confirm it. All about Kenya.
Yes,
Yeah.
no one is confirming
Listen.
it, no one's denying it, but I think it's like, it definitely happened, but I always say like people is, the source of truth, and they haven't even come out with it. And TMZ is my second source of truth, and TMZ is still using very vague language, like it happened, but I really think it happened.
Yeah.
Tiana, thoughts?
Listen, do I think she engaged in revenge porn? No, I don't think she's that stupid. But I can see her being petty enough to do something that would really get under Miss Britt's skin. And I think it was
absolutely.
definitely mission accomplished.
Yep.
Perhaps too accomplished because it backfired.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful that she's not suspended.
Well, I will say today on Jeff Lewis Live, Andy Cohen was on, I guess it was yesterday, and he was asking him like, oh, well, Atlanta's got crazy stuff going on. Someone's been suspended apparently. And Andy's just like, Jeff, and then, but he kept going, and then, but Andy didn't say anything. He didn't say a word, and then Jeff did say, well, where's Sheree? Like, bring, and he's like, oh my God, I love Sheree. So they kind of just pivoted into She by Sheree. Yeah.
Ramona, is Jeff on your payroll? Not where's Sheree?
Yeah.
Well, yes, because it should have been her and not true. But I just find the whole story to be one of the most bizarre stories that I've ever been a part of Bravo.
Yes.
And the fact that there's all this ambiguity around it, where it's like, we don't know if she really showed pictures of someone performing oral sex at her grand opening. We don't know if she's been suspended from the route. Like, it's weird to me, like, confirm or deny.
There must be
something
some
one
sort
way
of
or
like
the other.
internal investigation going on or
Yeah.
something. I mean, which is hysterical.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having to investigate someone putting up pictures of a coworker like
No.
Well,
eating a dick?
I don't think it's that hard to investigate. The cameras were rolling.
Right.
Right?
That's a
Like,
great
what
point.
investigation?
Yes.
Go back and look at your own cameras. Did
Case
it happen or
closed.
not?
Yeah, you're right.
And I think we all got tricked into following her live last week
Oh,
because it was like,
tell me about it.
be on.
at 3 o'clock, Kenya's going on live. So we were like, all right, she's going to talk about it. She's either going to say that it happened or she's going to deny it. No, it was all about like,
Her
can you
head
guys,
spa.
yeah.
Such a
Unintended.
You guys,
scammer.
please
Such
stop
a
messing with
scammer.
my business and stop doing like fake appointments and not showing up.
Fake
And this is how I
appointments.
feed my daughter. And I'm like, oh, now all of a sudden we have all
Okay.
this integrity around this business. Girl, bye.
Well, I think that's a great segue for us to kind of get into the ish of the week.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Courtney, you mentioned that Andy was on Jeff Lewis. Did he mention about the 15 years of Watch What Happens Live? Did they talk about
Oh
it?
yeah, they talked about it, and Jeff started asking about who's going to be there, and he's like, "Well, Jeff, I thought we talked about that. We're not going to bring up like who's going to be there." And he's like,
love it
"Oh yeah,
so
I guess we
much.
did. Yeah." He's like, "Can I say a couple names?" And he's like, "No, you're not, no, that's not what it's for."
They're having
you know?
a big I saw a big celebration on
Yep.
June 30th, so I'm excited to see that for
I
sure.
can't believe how many times people have been on it 30, 40, 50, I mean, a million times.
Yes, yeah, and they were doing some flashbacks of like when Carol Burnett was on there.
Oh my God,
And he
yes.
was like, this was 10 years ago. I
Yep.
was like, I cannot believe it's been that long. So I'm so excited to see the celebration for sure. Simon being petty,
Yes.
Atlanta.
Okay.
Okay.
And so I don't know if you guys saw that this morning, but so I don't know if you guys are aware, and viewers out there, if you're aware, it's just been so much drama happening between these two, and a judge ordered that Porsha is allowed to stay in their house. Well, earlier today it came out that this man has changed the locks on the home.
No.
Yes.
I heard about the car, but not the locks.
He is in his petty era.
Is he going to file like an unlawful detainer or something next, evict her?
Well, he says that, you know, the judge will determine whether or not it's fair. Like, he was talking to paparazzis. Actually,
Not paparazzi.
Yeah.
Okay.
To paparazzi.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were like, is it true you changed? He was like, hell yeah, I changed the locks.
Okay. But did you see them also going back and forth on social media? It
Yes.
is like,
Yes.
It's
I'm like, oh, they have
insanity.
time this week. They
Yeah.
have time this week, for sure.
But it's, I don't know. For me, it's annoying me, like, the way he's coming off. Like, I just feel like it's not a good look for a man to be behaving that way.
Yeah.
And, you know, he has been posting all these shady Instagram posts about, like, you know, when she tried to make a comment about his cars that he was trading in, about, like, okay, Miss Underground Railroad. Like, I mean, he is getting down and dirty.
And he did make the 265-day comment.
Yes, he
Which is a
also did
classic Porsha moment. It's
Yeah.
just, it's classic.
Oh, how these men turn, huh?
I just
Yeah.
feel like he's on his 11th divorce. Like, let's be
Yeah.
real. Like, why is he harassing this woman? Why isn't he, like, proposing to the next one?
How long were
Yeah.
they even together?
A blink of an eye?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
seriously.
I think they made a year.
But there were
Oh.
some alleged reports that, well, you know, his ex saying that they were together even while he was married to her, which is alleged. So,
I mean, to
believe it. I can
Tiana's
see
point,
it.
though,
I can
like
see
he
that
should be
too.
proposing to somebody else, right?
Like,
You
into
know?
the next week or
Yeah,
so.
of
Yeah,
course.
this is like, what, his 6th divorce? Like he said, and what was it, Portia's Family Matters? Like, this
yeah,
is what he
that's
does. He, like, packs up the women that he no longer wants.
Wow.
Takes his car keys back.
Yeah.
yeah.
And house keys.
I hope this all plays out in Atlanta. For
Also,
sure.
Oh, I can't wait to
before
see
we
it.
move on, why does this man have nearly 1 million followers?
Okay.
Are they
wow.
real?
Real followers, because you know I'm nosy and I look.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know, but if we can please make, you know, take this opportunity to speak to the Bravo verse out there, unfollow him.
Yes.
If you're curious to see
PSA
what
Courtney.
he wants,
Yeah.
PSA
it's time
Courtney.
for another
Yeah.
PSA.
Yeah.
Ramona's got
Unfollow
it.
this man. You could still go to his Instagram and see what he's up to, but let's not give him
Listen,
the
I
follows.
stalk a lot of people on Instagram that I do not follow. So everyone can do that too.
Yeah, you don't have to follow him.
Yeah.
Well, in other Atlanta news, we had the med spa at Married to Medicine.
Yes.
Everyone like came out in their great fits.
The Met Gala, let's try that one.
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Med Gala.
Yeah.
The
Did I
Med
say
Gala.
But I have Med Spa on here.
Yeah.
I'm just not on my fucking A
You
game
know what?
today.
It's so funny. I didn't even hear Spot.
Med Gala, Married to Medicine. So everyone came out in their nice outfits. Phaedra still, as Tiana said, has no medicine or no man. So we're not sure why she's on
What's
the
the
show.
connection?
Yeah, and I think too, Tiana, your theory was it's the finale, so it should be coming out soon.
Yes, fingers crossed. I love a good Black Bravo weekend, and so that's what I'm really hoping. Like Atlanta, and then Married to Medicine, and my heart will be content.
So, fingers crossed.
And I think the coolest thing to come out of the Med Gala, I mean, obviously it's a very nice event. They're celebrating the medical community of Atlanta with this. But Miss Quad has a new boo.
Oh yeah.
It's a
And
little
he,
cute, might I add.
yes.
Yeah, handsome boo.
And so she, you know, unveiled him at the Med Gala.
And Heavenly looked heavenly, and Contessa gave Ozempic Contessa that, or, you know, her man Scott is really wearing that woman out. It's one or the other.
Okay.
Yes, and then we also had Toya in a short above the knee dress with like a very exaggerated hat. I don't know, did we see that
Least
outfit?
favorite cast member of that cast. Not a Toya fan.
Really?
And not a
Okay.
Toya fan, and I hope she at least contributed financially to this year's event, unlike last year's where she was
When
like,
they called
well,
her
I
out."
brought wine.
Yes, when they called
They're
her
just
out.
Venmo requesting nobody.
Yeah.
Y'all know Toya's cheap.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we also had, so I forgot her name. I'm not even gonna lie, but it came out that she's no longer part of the cast. You know what I'm talking about, Tiana?
Sure don't. But it just goes to show that she didn't belong.
Yes.
It's the one who said her husband doesn't go down on her. They don't believe it. Like that
The
couple.
forgettable heifer.
Wait, who is that?
You don't remember that?
Yes,
I remember
like,
that.
And like she like lost $100,000, or they think she hid it. I don't know her name.
She's like a dentist.
Yes, and he's the
Oh.
doctor.
Yes. How do I
Yes.
forget? Yes.
Forgettable.
Yes,
So
Not
this
how do you
proves-
forget
proving
it?
our
We know
point.
how.
No,
Yeah.
I know how we forgot, but yes, now I know. Oh yeah.
We'll insert them here.
Yeah.
Find them.
Yeah.
In
So
case you guys forgot, we'll
Yeah.
insert here.
insert here.
Yeah, it's like literally, if you hadn't have brought it up, I wouldn't have even realized she wasn't there.
It was almost the same as kind of like NECA announcing she wasn't coming back to Potomac. It was that quiet. Like you literally
Yeah.
have to like
Yeah.
be in the Bravo-ish to know or
Yeah.
pay attention.
Yeah, we need an announcement that you'll be back. Not, the not
Yeah.
be back, we wouldn't even notice.
Exactly. So moving on to across the seas, Dubai is giving us life.
Yes.
What are your thoughts, Courtney, on Dubai?
I mean, I know some people are not into Dubai, which is interesting to me, but I love
Gasp.
it. Yeah, it's great. I think it's just chaos everywhere. I do have a real big bone to pick, though, with the fact that Sarah was set up with this thing. That guy is the weirdest looking dude I've ever seen in my life, and I just don't understand. 'cause
She's weird.
She's weird as a person, but she is very pretty. She's
gorgeous.
She's
She's a
cool
gorgeous girl.
looking. She's
Yeah.
got a great
Yeah.
vibe and
Yeah.
everything. And like you can set her up with someone way better looking than that thing. It was like I couldn't even pay attention because I was just so confused by how she's even having a conversation with this guy and his like weird two-toned hair, but he's bald, but it's kind of like two-toned into the beard. It's a lot. I have a real bone to pick with them for
But
that.
who really wants to put up with her in her healing journey?
I just think
Small
she's,
pickings.
the more and more I see of Sarah, the more and more I'm annoyed with her. And one of the things that actually struck me the most during this episode is when, I don't know, it was heartbreaking a little bit when they were showing her the conversation she was having with her son.
That seemed really bizarre.
Oh
to
my
me.
gosh.
He's
it
so
was
little.
he's just a little guy. And when he was just like, yeah, all men are bad because
Oh.
they all treat you poorly. And I was just like,
I know.
Why are you taking your kid along for the ride
Yeah,
with these bad relationships? When she
Hmm.
was talking about her ex-husband, and look, I was just getting fired up because she
Yeah.
was saying how like, you know, oh, he never showed him love, and he wasn't, and
it
he was
was
so cold
really
towards him.
dark.
And so in my mind, I'm like, bitch, why'd you marry him?
Yes.
Like, why would you marry
then
a
she says,
man
well, it's
that's
mommy-
not kind to your children?
Yeah, she goes, oh, it's mommy's fault. Mommy doesn't pick good men. I'm like, lady,
Yeah.
you're talking to a 7-year-old. Like, it bothered
cringe.
me.
It was
Yeah, it
super
really
cringe. Yeah.
Why do we think she made the decision to put him on TV to have that conversation? That's the
I-
other parenting
Yeah,
call out there.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
why is it on TV? Exactly.
Yeah.
Do that somewhere else.
Yeah.
Do that with the
That's
healer,
what I'm
with the
saying.
iPad, or
She's
the laptop.
strange. And
The
she
white
makes,
healer from
she
Bali.
makes
Yes.
strange decisions. Like I don't know. Every time I see Sarah, like at first in the first season, I was just like so captivated because I was like, she's so gorgeous, and I still think that. But there's just aspects of her personality that just, you know, and I didn't like her friend, you know, kind of
Oh,
mean
Saba.
girling. Yeah, how
Yeah.
she was mean girling Chanel Ayan, like never met the woman before and just giving her just like this horrible
About
to me,
her
I-
costumes, yeah.
yeah, but like the look on her face when she walked in was just so like, I'm like, that's just so low class to me. Like you don't even know this woman.
Yeah.
Not a Sarah fan, but sorry, I'm like really charged over
Yeah, I can
into
tell.
Dubai. One of the other parts that was really cringy to me was the dynamic between Sergio and Stanberry.
I think the post was Stanberry and her cub.
Yes.
You're
I
welcome.
feel so bad for him.
I feel this man gets disrespected left, right, and
I
center.
will say-
whether it's her, whether it's
Yes.
her daughter.
I will say call the Academy or whoever gives an award to these editors because when she was doing her hypnotherapy thing and they cut to him like listening at the top of the stairs to listen into this like therapy session, it was great. It was so good.
Yeah.
But I do feel bad for him.
She was also on like Watch What Happens Live.
Yes, with
And-
Jeffrey Lewis, yeah.
And that was a little cringe.
Yeah.
Like to piggyback, kind of like what you're saying, like he's always kind of at the butt of everyone's jokes.
Yeah, you can tell it bothers him.
Yeah.
But
so-
also, like, he seems so young to me, even though I know he's not. But, like, where are his parents? Like, I don't understand.
Get your child.
Wait,
They need
how
to
old
come
is
get their
he?
child.
Is he 30?
With this older woman. Like, they need to
Yes.
save their child. He married his mother, and it's just so disturbing to me.
It's giving, like, Oedipus
and those
complex.
takeaways.
Yes.
That's what I was saying. Like, he was so bothered. He was just like, "You don't tell me what to do. No, I'm a man." And then when her daughter was, she was like, "Well, yes, I want to be with her because I love her, not because there's anything wrong with that."
Oh my gosh,
And then she
it's
was
so
like, "Here,
sad.
Sergio, because you've always wanted to wear a dress." Like, I'm like, if they
Oh,
do
God.
stop
It was bad.
disrespecting this man, it was
Yeah.
so hard to watch.
It was
Poor
super
Sergio. I
sad.
actually am starting to feel a little bad for him.
Oh, I do.
But the timer's ticking on that relationship.
Oh, so okay. Interesting, because I feel like a little bit negative, because I thought as soon as it started, I was like, okay, let's give this, not that long of a time. And then now it's like, I was thinking like, oh, maybe they really do love each other. But no, now we're on the other side of it.
It's time to call it.
A lot of people love their mothers.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God. Make it stop.
Yeah, make
Yes.
it stop. So keeping up with Housewives, New Jersey,
Yes.
I'm loving it. Like, I know most of the viewers aren't, but I really, really am.
What part?
I'm loving, you know what? I'm loving the fact that everyone seems to be getting along without Teresa, and hopefully Teresa would be the one to go, and they realize the show can still remain its integrity and kind of like keep kind of like its, its culture, its kind of little, fit. That's what I'm liking. I'm loving Melissa. I feel like she's in her truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Jackie needs to go.
Oh, I got so
Yeah.
annoyed with Jackie in this last episode.
Oh, I was just like, wow.
It was a
like-
mess.
It was. She seems like like the puppet, and everyone else was the puppet masters. Like,
But
they
then
were just,
she's confused because I don't know if you saw her on Watch What Happens Live when Andy's like, "Well, keep watching and you'll see some things about this friendship you think you have." And she literally was like, "Stop the show." She's like, "Wait, what do you mean?" Like, she's so
Yeah.
confused
Yeah.
that this could possibly be happening.
Yeah.
That's what is disturbing to me, is that she literally has no idea.
I bet you she probably got completely freaked out because she's probably like, "Oh my gosh, is there something going to come out that Teresa was talking shit about me?" And
Yes.
right? And it's so, to me, it's just, I don't know how she has such a lack of self-awareness to not see what
Yeah.
all of us can see, which is like, okay, the first chance that the popular girl, who you thought was the popular girl, wanted to be your friend, you cut and run and are just like completely disloyal to your girls who have had your back for years because you just want to beat up Teresa's butt. Like,
Yeah.
it's so obvious
It's weird.
to everybody watching. And it's getting a little difficult for me. It's getting a little hard to see that.
Yeah.
But do we think the reason why that is, though, is because, and I'm going to say this very gently, very gently, is, maybe her, upbringing and experience in adolescence.
Yeah.
She wasn't the popular kid, and she wasn't the chosen one.
Yes.
And now it's like, I feel like Teresa is a little bit of a mean girl because she knows this is like, oh, you want me
She
to
has
pick you.
unsolved.
for
She has
sure.
unsolved issues from 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's like the
being
way
bullied as a kid.
Yes, and the way it's looking on TV is you will sell your soul to be
Yes.
with the
And
popular.
with
Oh,
the
yeah.
popular crowd.
Yeah.
Like Margaret says, fame whore.
Yeah. But it's
Yeah.
but at a certain point, when you're good and grown,
Yes,
there's
very
just no
true.
excuses. So
Very true.
I just find it odd that she cannot see and that she just has decided to all of a sudden have amnesia about all of the awful things. Teresa literally made Jackie's life a living hell.
Yeah.
Oh.
For
Didn't
a
she
year.
relapse?
At
into
least.
her-
Yes,
Yes,
That's what she
she
put in her
talks
book.
about
Yeah,
it
she
in her
put it in her
book.
book. And I'm like, what is the husband saying here? Why isn't husband speaking up?
Yeah, talk about come get your
Yes.
children. Like, come get your wife.
Come get your
Yes.
wife.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
lady, do you remember how this lady was going around alleging that I was cheating on you in the gym and all that? And now it's like, who cares about it? Like, Jackie is just annoying me to no end.
Yeah.
And I cannot with that. But at that party, though, if we can go to, first of all, Did anybody else want some of that pasta? That pasta wheel.
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah.
That's why we have a whole post of just pasta
About the Parmesan wheels. Yes.
So good. It looked so good. The party looked it was not what I was expecting from a
No.
Melissa party, though.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
like a backyard boogie. That's what I thought it was,
Yeah.
like with the pasta wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they had the pasta wheel and the lady, like, okay, we started off great with like the lady giving the limoncellos at the door.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I would have liked to see it continue. She could have maybe used a
They
little
did
help
have a nice
with the party planner.
charcuterie set up though.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like it was very
They did.
Very
cheesy.
Jersey. Very
Yeah, no,
Jersey.
it was, but it was like a very well produced
Yes.
charcuterie.
Like the
setup.
hanging prosciutto.
Yeah.
It's just like,
And the rose thing, the whole thing.
And then the lemons. The lemons were like
Everywhere.
Why is people wearing lemons?
yeah, I don't know what that was.
Because it was like a Capri theme.
Not
No,
the
it
hot.
Oh, God.
Capri.
Like
Capri.
Jesse.
I
Hot
can't.
free.
All
I
I could
can't.
think about though was Real Housewives of Beverly Hills when Dorit revamped that room at Buca de Beppo.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God, the Buca de Beppo
The
room.
Capri themes and all the lemons.
I
like, literally,
forgot
I just kept
about
thinking
that.
of Yes, all I could
Oh
think
my
about.
gosh. Now I'm getting kind of fired up though about another dining chefing experience, which is Below Deck.
Oh,
Yes.
don't get me started.
I am on here like clicking and clacking away during these episodes trying to like start a consulting firm or something for these charters, because I'm thinking they always have issues. They're always understaffed, first of all. Like
Yep.
they never have enough people. Get an extra
Yes.
stew. And then I thought, you know what they need? They need a stew chef. Not a suit. They need an extra
Yes.
stew who also can cook and make fucking quesadillas or whatever the people want at 12 o'clock at night. And at first I thought, okay, I was trying to give the chef the benefit of the doubt because he needed to sleep when these people wanted all this food and that poor stew.
paninis.
Not Ella. What's her name? Elena? Ella? I'm sorry.
Ellie.
Ellie. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. When Ellie's like just running around doing drinks and making food and all these things, and well, maybe he's not supposed to wake up. Then they're just not supposed to eat. But then now we're done with him. He is in over his head and stressing me out on this show. This show is always, I will say, the most stressful show on Bravo for me to watch.
For
But I
sure.
think he's,
Yes.
like, he's adding the fun though.
So I
watch,
love
yes.
Chef
Yes.
Jano to watch. Like I love the twerking in the galley and all
Oh
that.
yeah, that's true. I do like that.
And so after that first episode, I was like, oh yes. But when I saw his food on this last one,
But did you also hear when he said, "Fake it to you"? Everything through life
Yes.
I've done is fake it till you make
Yeah.
it. I'm
Correct.
like, did you do
yes,
this with the
because
chefing?
he's not an
Yes.
actual chef.
Correct.
He never went to culinary school.
Which is fine. I don't think you need to go to culinary school, but he talks about, he's like, sometimes I still feel like I'm like an architect or a designer. And I'm like, bitch,
Okay,
you're
so
on-
that
Yeah.
Yes.
connection I did not get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So who's worse, him or Ryan? Remember Ryan?
Remember Ryan?
The guy who like literally cursed out
Yeah.
Chef Jason. I'm not Chef Jason.
Captain.
Captain
Yeah.
Jason.
Oh
And
yes.
his food was like, remember where it's like tea time? And then
Yeah.
he was like we wanted like it was like
yeah,
literally.
I didn't like that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a different situation here where I just am getting my like food. I'm getting triggered by this stuff this guy does with food and how he actually.
eggs?
And then he was getting.
Cold
I don't like
eggs.
how he gets defensive. There's a couple things I have issues with him. You know, but we'll see. I'm very curious to see how it unfolds because I didn't like that Captain Sandy was on his side about not getting up to make the food. That kind of bugged me.
Oh, it bugged me to no end.
I was
and it
pissed.
just showed how, like, yes, he can cook, but there is a difference between going to culinary school
Yeah.
and getting all the skills and understanding what is required of you
And timing.
and faking it until you make it.
Yeah.
It was very apparent.
Yeah, but Captain Sandy, like if you look at all her episodes or seasons, the chef is like right there with her. So she looks at it as almost waking her up to do something. That's a no-no. So I can see why she was on the chef's side for sure.
But if I were but on the chef side for a little bit, like if I had to do that job, mind you, you're starting at 6 a.m. Don't wake me up at 1 a.m. for a grilled cheese sandwich. Like, lady, I'm gonna need.
Yeah.
But what he should have done, and he knew that.
yeah, and prep the
He
food.
prep,
Yeah.
like have some snacks ready to go. Bake some fresh baked chocolate chip cookies if they get snacky a little later.
It was
like,
on their
have
preference sheet.
stuff
That was
ready.
the issue, is that they said
And he said he would do it.
We want munchies at night, and so no. Goodbye.
And I think that's to be expected with any charter. But the ice cold eggs, I know we talked about the eggs. Okay. So, because we were going back and forth in our group chat about this, about like Charles is calling us out about not the warmer. Like, I'm like, no, I agree. It's not Denny's. You shouldn't have food underneath a warmer. However, you cannot serve eggs an hour and a half after
That
they're
is disgusting.
made. That is
But who would
disgusting.
think that's okay? That's the more important
Right.
thing.
Not even if you're not a chef, you don't think that's
Like,
okay.
I
Yeah,
think someone faking it until they make it.
I don't know about
Thinks it's
it.
okay.
Really
I
think
even
it's okay.
still, like,
But it also to me is a little bit of poor planning on maybe the chief stew. Like, I think have a little bit more communication with your guests, because if your guests tell you have breakfast, because that's what happened. The guest said have breakfast ready for us at 8:30.
But you always
So at
check
8
to see when they're up. They always say, "Oh, guests are up." They weren't even up.
Yeah.
Wait till they wake up.
yeah, and yeah.
Yeah.
We got to learn timing. I think, Courtney, you really could have a career,
Oh, I'm
another
pissed.
side hustle.
I can't with this.
As a consultant on
I
how
watch
to better
these
run
charters,
these.
and all I do is like it's like sports. I like yell at the TV about how mismanaged.
Have one
these-
more stew.
Yeah, I'm like, get a stew. I don't understand why they have don't have extra like washing machines and things like that.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
always behind on laundry. Every single time, it's the same thing. It's like Groundhog Day in charter season. It's a lot.
And this stew can't do laundry.
Oh my God.
I was floored.
Bree, she
But they
is.
never can though. They never can do laundry. I
She
feel like-
looks. She talked about how she's got I grew up. I had a housekeeper, and then she let it slip
Why did
that
she
she's
become a stewardess?
Well, she let it slip that she's never made it through a charter season.
Oh,
Correct.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it shows.
And this is
Okay.
gonna
It
keep this.
definitely
And now we're on the
shows.
next one. She's not gonna make it through again.
I'm like, girl, this is not your calling.
no.
No, I've got to say I've been a little lazy with my below deck, but now I'm like into it.
Yeah, get into it.
Yeah.
Now
It's
I was
heating up.
really only watching for the shelf and like Sandy, but now I'm really gonna like tune into it. Last time when we all met for this Bravo roundup, we talked about Summer House Part 1.
Yes.
But now we get into Part 2, and a little disappointed. It didn't bring
Yeah.
it home.
Yeah.
No.
It fell
Episode 1
flat
was
a
much
little bit.
better.
Yes, I feel like I really didn't anticipate this, that Lindsay and Carl were the backstory to
Yeah.
Sierra and Wes.
Oh God.
And I just gotta say this though, like I love the Viall Files, and Wes was on there, and
Oh, I didn't see that.
I was just very disappointed because the main host, Nick Viall,
Yeah.
supported Wes and was like, why is everyone...
No.
Yes,
Oh,
he
come
did.
on, dude.
He was like,
That
why
makes
is
me
everyone
hot.
broke
I feel
up.
like I'm sweating.
beyond? And,
Yeah.
I left a comment. I was like, oh, okay, former fuckboy. That's what
Yes.
we're
Yes.
at right now.
Yep.
He probably still is.
Right. And I was just like, he was like, why is everyone so surprised at what Wes did?
Because she was so clear with what her
and
expectations
his
were.
argument was Wes was clear too.
No, he was not.
That's what I was, and that's what I was like, are we watching?
This is once again
Yeah.
these little boys. Don't even get me fucking started.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
this is a problem.
They
Get
love to
them off of
rewrite
our
history.
Yeah. They
Yes, because Stevie Wonder could see.
Oh my
what
God.
was going on. Like,
Not
seriously.
Stevie Wonder.
Yes.
Don't bring him into this.
Stevie Wonder could see.
And he has about 8 baby mamas and 10 children.
Yeah.
He knows what's going on.
He could see how like wrong Wes was in the situation, and how it was just very heartless, and how it was very clear that he just wanted to be able to have his options open.
Absolutely. And
Once he went on television.
And the way that he continues to carry on, like,
can't.
like he's like, I'm gonna sit here and take this spanking and then get on with my
Yeah.
life, and that's what it is. And he's almost to the other side of it and about to really live his Bravo fuckboy
I will
life.
say,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
feel like he's never like fucked the chick before because he is so excited for these DMs to come in. He's so fired up for his DMs. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, like you need to sit down
Yeah.
because you're weird looking. You're kind of fat. Now I'm gonna once again.
Yes.
I'm gonna now. Here I go with my body shaming, but it's because I don't like him. I wouldn't do it to someone I liked.
Yeah.
But like he's a little chunky. He's
Yes.
got this weird fucking mustache. He
And the hair.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just,
He looks like a slob.
Yes.
I mean,
I
I know
have never
Dolores.
turned
I
on
mean, I will
someone
say,
so
I'm going to
fast.
use
Yeah.
Dolores's least favorite word, slob. And he's a slob. Like, what is he expecting?
Yeah. So
I can't.
He should have been thankful, I think, as Paige said. Like, look at her. You should only be so lucky.
Yes.
But I'm just like, wow, what a. I hope they do bring him back next season. So
I think they
everyone-
are.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
got to face
Yeah.
the music.
Oh yeah. So everyone and. just from a viewer's standpoint. I hope Sierra's in the house too, and I hope she's living her best life.
Yeah, I
Yes.
hope she's
Yeah.
like not. I don't want her to bang like a balloon guy. I want something better for her.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
She needs her Craig.
Anything else? Lindsay, Carl. I feel like Carl has like also has been like, oh, okay, we're seeing you differently. You're a little not so coming out with your hands clean in this. You're a little grimy. Like, for sure.
Yeah, but I thought it was like Andy like really gathered Miss Lindsay when she was like, you did this on camera. Like, lady, what you guys do is on camera. That's what you, I always hate when reality stars hate things being on camera.
Yeah.
And I think that too is what gets them on the chopping block or close to the chopping
Yes.
block when they say things
That
like
is
that.
what I will
Yeah.
say. That is what
Yes.
Andy was saying about Potomac.
I think that's what happened to Robin.
Yes, that is. He said on
Yes.
on Jeff Lewis. He said, "Listen, like it's the same conversation. New Jersey. It's like it's the same conversation we had with Potomac, where it's like that reunion." He's like, "I remember seeing the Jersey reunion and then Potomac, and looking, going, these women are just like not." We're not all on the same page here, and that's not what this show is.
Yeah.
And when it becomes such a weird chopped up cast, and there's all these rules, and everyone's putting an asterisk next to what they're gonna do, and this and that. He said it's just not what the show is.
Yeah.
It's not
Too contrite.
Yep, and
Yeah.
he has to sit them down and say, listen, like, what are we doing here?
I
Yeah.
blame Bravo and Andy. I'll be honest. Like, I think that Bravo needs to learn how to cut these cast members loose and start
Yeah.
a whole new cast.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a reason why I should see Teresa and Melissa on my TV.
No, I
and
agree.
It's been 15 years.
Yes, we're
Yes.
done.
Yeah.
We're done.
5
That's it.
seasons, and then give them the boot.
And that's
We
what
don't
he-
have these
yeah,
issues.
That's what he told Jeff too. He said said that Andy told him, listen, these shows last for 3 seasons. Like, expect to be on here for 3 seasons. Don't quit your day job. Like, this is a
Yeah.
blessing that you have, and make the most of it. But like,
Save your money.
this is not a career, and everyone else has missed the memo.
Oh, absolutely. Especially Lindsay.
Oh, God.
Because that's
Oh,
what
my
her
God.
job is. I was like,
When-
wait a minute.
She literally, I will say,
Don't you do PR?
I was,
yikes.
I
She's like,
was,
this is my job.
Yep.
to.
I was in our group chat trolling Carl, saying, how can you be overwhelmed when you have no kids, no job, I was just talking so much shit. And then when she says, well, we have the same job, I'm like, oh God.
Yes.
So
has
then
more
why are you
appearance
putting
of-
him on blast
and
about his lack of a job?
and how
then
did he
shitting
not-
on every idea that he had?
And how did he not correct her in that moment and say, Lindsay, like,
Yes.
you make barely more money than I do.
we have the same job.
Yeah,
Like,
we do
what?
the same exact thing. That was like,
She's
I
like,
wonder what kind of brand deals is she getting, like on her
Stuff I've
Instagram,
never seen
in
or
order
heard
to
of
be
before.
like,
Oh,
okay,
I couldn't
I'm
tell you.
fine.
She
I
wants
have
him just to be
this.
killing life. What did she say? Was that
killing
what
life.
it
I
was?
want
God.
crushing life. I want my
Crushing
man
Oh, yeah, crushing life.
God,
I'm not
no.
crushing life. No. I was like, okay,
God.
this is awkward.
Yeah.
Whew, such good stuff. Okay, well, I think we pretty much have wrapped it up this week in Bravo. Tiana, what are kind of like your takeaways from this week?
All right, so we've covered everything today, from Kenya's suspension, rumors about that happening, Simon's petty antics, and of course, all things Met Gala from Married to Medicine. We dive deep into Dubai and all of the foolishness that is happening
Yes.
across the sea. And of course, the chef drama on Below Deck, Mediterranean. So make sure that you guys are all caught up. If you missed any episodes, catch up with us on all of the major podcast platforms. Like, subscribe, and leave us a review. Your feedback means so much to us. Next week, we have a really special treat for you. We'll be diving into Where Are They Now?, the OGs of Bravo. You definitely don't want to miss it. So be sure to be on the lookout for our next episode next Monday. Courtney,
Thank
you
you.
want to take
Yeah,
us
thank
out?
you, Tiana. And yeah, just thank you so much for joining us and listening. We really encourage all of you to start your own Bravo shit talking group chat. This is how we all came together and formed this podcast, and it's been a really, really good time. So you should do it too. Here's my favorite part. Don't forget, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, I guess X, sorry, all the things. And then if you have any suggestions that are a little bit more long-winded, just make sure you email us at talkyoish@bravoishtalkers.com.
It comes off so smoothly now.
I did it.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And remember, keep the shit talking unapologetic.
Bye.
Bye guys.
Bye,
Bye, guys.